What's happening, crypto fam? Welcome back to YouTube. Welcome back to Love for Crypto. I'm Scott. This is a cheeky little rundown video to remind you all that ILP, a technology created by Ripple themselves, is in the hands of the W3C. They're all in bed together. They're all doing it together. We know this. We've said this in the past, but I just wanted to reinstill it and just show you this document. So let's get through it. The future of web payments, W3C web payments, and the Interledger protocol, from Adrian Hope Baylor. So in the future, payment initiation will be frictionless. Payment networks will be interoperable. New business models will be viable. New ecosystems will emerge. Right, increasing speed increases the volume. Information exchange exploded because of the internet speed and reach. So the internet reaches global market, and it absolutely blew up in 1990. Getting there. So they need to standardize the handshake, standardize the messaging, and standardize the transport. The four-corner model. So it's going from sender, interbank connector, bank receiver, or financial institution, money provider, whatever. The Payee-centric model, static, dynamic. We are introducing payment apps or payment request APIs. And the circle is complete through the W3C and ILP. We need to understand, guys, that the people who created these documents had their own presentation over the top of it. So we are missing a lot of audio from the creator of this document, and we are basically just running over and reading what it says and trying to decipher what it actually means. But as we get lower down, you can see one thing's quite clear. So the payment request API defines how a payment is initiated. The payments apps API defines how a payment app can respond to the request, and the payment method specifications define the different ways to pay. So matchmaking based on payment methods. It's going from sender to the recipient through a payment app to a website. The circle's still broken, apparently. What if there is no common payment method between the payment app and the website, sender and recipient? We need a way to pay across networks. So this is the thing, guys. Ripple Tech, XRP, it's not just about cross-border payments. It's about cross-network payments, cross-currency payments to exchange value across different networks. The answer is not another network. It's not another Bitcoin network. It's not another Ethereum network. It's not the XRP on its own. It just isn't. It's a network of payment networks. So from financial institutions to corporations to commercial banks to central banks to new technologies that no doubt emerge and new companies, it will be a network of networks. But how do you actually move digital assets? So we have a ledger. Digital assets are just balances in a ledger. So it's just peer-to-peer, innit? Just peer-to-peer payments. Well, what if you're crossing ledgers? You can just exchange your balances in the ledger, yeah? But not everyone has accounts on the same ledger. So the sending ledger, receiving ledger have different currencies. That's where we need a connector that has accounts on both ledgers. The connector accepts a transfer on one ledger in exchange for making a transfer on another. The result is that assets move from one sender's account to the receiver's. But how can we be sure the connector won't drop the transfer? So it's getting a little technical, but we'll continue. We just rely on the receiver to notify us of failures, high volume, extremely low value use cases, micro payments. So there is a demo of streaming payment for BitTorrent downloads on this document, guys. There's a link there if you wanted to go and click it and watch it yourselves. Feel free to do so. We'll drop the link in the description. For most use cases, we need reliable end-to-end transfers. We need automaticity of all transfers across all networks. So either all transactions must complete or none of them do. This problem is commonly solved using the two-phase commit pattern for transaction automaticity. Interledger works best if ledgers and payment networks support conditional payments. The payment is prepared by putting assets on hold in each ledger and all ledgers agreeing on a released condition proposed by the receiver. The payment is executed by releasing funds to the receiver first and then passing the signed release fulfillment back down the line. Connectors have an incentive to pass the fulfillment proof to the next ledger and get paid. These basic building blocks enable digital assets to be securely relayed across multiple ledgers and networks. So chained payments from any sender to any receiver through one or more connectors. So like I've said in previous video, guys, payments in anything from anyone to anywhere. Limitlessly scalable. Connectors and ledgers can be added to handle more payments. Oh, there! Look at that there, payment network. What? Use that, Ripple. Connecting disparate systems, minimal standard to link banks, networks, telcos, etc. So you've got the mobile network operator, you've got payment network, and central bank. So showing all these different networks that can exist on the chain. Free the world's liquidity. Unlocking liquidity from multiple sources to lower capital costs. From the sender through connectors to financial institutions networks back through another connector into XRPL or Ripple networks, the Ripple net if you like, into another connector and then out into the receiver's account or wallet. Absolutely incredible. I don't see Stellar there at the moment, Lumens, but don't see anyone except Ripple, to be perfectly honest. And considering Ripple created the technology, I am not surprised. Open Web Payment Scheme provides basic consumer payments across networks. The sender the payment app recipient on a website. So now there are many and much more options. Different routes to take, different connectors, linking those two people. Payment apps plus interledger equals a network of networks. Excuse me. So the W3C web payment plus interledger. What does it equal? It equals autonomous payments and the Internet of Things, a massive increase in global payments volume, financial incentives driving new behavior, micropayments-based business models, goodbye advertising and DRM, privacy and convenience together, personal ledgers. Personal ledgers. Keep that in your mind for a sec, guys. Personal ledgers. Your own ledger, your personal ledger. Basically tells you at the end you can have one. And I'm guessing the kids of tomorrow are going to be creating their own as they grow up. And all their value, identity, and everything will be stored on their own personal ledgers that will then be interoperable with the ledgers of the rest of the world. Anything they want private, they will put on a private ledger. Anything they don't mind being public will be on a public ledger. Anything they want super secure and custody services or whatever, they will look to a bank, corporation, financial institution, or whoever to provide that service. This is huge, guys. It really fucking is. And this is a W3C document. It's directly referencing Ripple. They're in control of Ripple Tech. Stephen Thomas, Interledger, another absolute genius in the space. An introduction to the Interledger protocol. There's a link there to the YouTube video. I suggest you go and check it out. Interledger status of the JS Foundation, the JavaScript implementations at JS Foundation. The links are here, takes you to GitHub. There's interledger.js, the Java implementation contributed by Everest. Others in the Interledger project. There are links here, guys. Go and check them out. Bootstrapping the network. Personal ledgers. Anyone can run an Interledger node using ILP kit. Pair with your friends and create accounts with each other. An open, permissionless P2P payment network to test ILP. Settlement is done out of band using regulated channels over time. ILP-enabled ledgers will allow trustless peering. Pair with your friends and create accounts with each other and open permissionless P2P payment network. And the links there, guys: ILP kit, Wiki, GitHub, Interledger.js. It is there. Real money using Interledger protocol, US dollars, €2. Demonstration there if you want to go and watch that. Thank you, Adrian Hope Bailey. The W3C Web Payments Activity, Interledger protocol at Interledger. Guys, you trust the internet. This is what we need to relay to people now. When they start saying they don't trust crypto and you can't trust this and that, it's like, well, you can't trust the internet then, because the internet protocol, IP, is what is the internet in it, and ILP is now going to be the internet of internet. It's a network of networks, internetworking. The every network on the planet. It is the future of web payments that leads to much more beyond that. Guys, it was a pleasure to read that out to you. I suggest you go and have a little look at it yourself, follow some of them links. Stay tuned for more updates on more documents. We will try and keep you in a loop as and when we come across things like this, because I think from time to time, as Kurt's just told me, it's good to just recap and remind everyone that this technology is in the hands of the people we all trust to secure and move our data. So why would you worry if they was building the internet of value and they was controlling and regulating that in almost exactly the same way? They've done it once before. I'd imagine they are now good at it. Yeah. Live long and hodl, guys. We love crypto. We love XRP, and we love you. Peace out.